Ladies and gentlemen, these first few weeks of the NFL offseason have been insane. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to skip the recap videos and do the top 10 moments in the 2022 NFL offseason. In order to create this list, I am considering the players' statistics, their impact on their previous team, and in the words of the movie Draft Day, made a splash in the news. Trades, free agency signings, and contract extensions are all being considered for this list. Let's start off with number 10. Khalil Mack traded to the Los Angeles Chargers. Khalil Mack, everybody knows as one of the toughest tacklers in the NFL, one of the best linebackers that has been drafted in this league. He's been a monster on the field, and he's made every defense look good. 4 years in Chicago, he's had a total of 304 tackles. 231 of them were by himself. In his 4 seasons with the Bears, he only missed 12 games out of the 65 total games that he had played in Chicago. He has played in the league for 8 years, so he has a lot of experience. The Chargers are really excited to have him, especially because Joey Bosa is now going to have someone on the opposite side to create pocket pressure. Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, beware. Number 9, Amari Cooper traded to the Cleveland Browns. 4 years with the Dallas Cowboys, 3,893 catching yards in his career, and with the Cowboys, nothing short of a hero. He was the best receiver that the Cowboys have had since Des Bryant. He was consistent, played through injuries. Dak Prescott definitely liked him. Now, both sides were able to win something in this trade. Cleveland is now going to have a new wide receiver that's going to help out Deshaun Watson, and then the Cowboys saved $19 million in cap space. And a fun fact for the Cowboys fans was when they started the offseason, they were $21 million over the salary cap. As of right now, they are about $14 million under the salary cap. With those free agency signings, the Cowboys have been able to sign Jaron Kearse, Doris Armstrong, James Washington, and Dante Fowler. Number 8, Matt Ryan to the Indianapolis Colts. The 4-time Pro Bowler and 2016 NFL MVP has been traded from the Atlanta Falcons to the Indianapolis Colts, where he'll be partnered up with Frank Wright in hopes of being able to refresh his NFL career. Matt Ryan has spent 14 plus seasons with the Atlanta Falcons. He's had a couple of playoff wins, and with 59,735 passing yards and 367 touchdowns, it's a big impact for the Colts fans as they are going to have a quarterback with a ton of experience. For the Falcons, this is an official sign of rebuild mode. Arthur Smith, the second-year head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, is going to look to develop his own players, and in order to do that, it looks like he had to trade Matt Ryan away in order to find a new quarterback that he can work with and start a franchise with. Number 7, Von Miller signing a 6-year deal with the Buffalo Bills. The 2-time Super Bowl champion, 8-time Pro Bowler, after winning a Super Bowl this year with the LA Rams, signs an enormous deal with the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are already a scary defense. Von Miller just makes it 10 times scarier, especially because that helps out the pass rush. Von Miller is one of the best sack masters that the NFL has ever seen, and he is an enormous upgrade for the Bills defense. His 6-year, $120 million deal assures the Bills fans that Von Miller will retire a Bill. Number 6, Aaron Rodgers signs a 3-year extension with the Packers. Finally, after weeks of speculation, Rodgers decides to stay with the Packers. The drama and the idea, the theories that Rodgers was going to leave Green Bay and go maybe to the Denver Broncos has come to an end, and Rodgers stays with the Packers for what could be his final 3 years. Rodgers stays and gets a 3-year, $150 million deal, meaning he will get paid $50 million a year. This allows the Packers to save money and assures them that they will have their franchise quarterback stay with the Packers. Unfortunately, the Packers will still have some challenges ahead of them. More of that later. Number 5, Tom Brady unretires after 40 days. I know that Brady returning was so big that March Madness did not get any attention on that Sunday, but putting him at number 5 was the safest option, given that there are more qualified candidates down the list. Tom Brady coming back means that the Buccaneers are now predicted to go back to the playoffs. Brady returning definitely motivated Chris Godwin, and Leonard Fournette's returns to Tampa. All we need is for Rob Gronkowski to come back, and the Buccaneers are pretty much the same team as they were the year before. If any team represents reloaded and ready, it's the Buccaneers. Number 4, Davante Adams is traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. Honestly, after Adams stated he would not play under the Packers franchise tag, I thought that maybe he would get a big contract after the NFL draft, somewhere in June. Too bad I was wrong, and the Packers traded him to the Las Vegas Raiders. This trade, however, does benefit both the Packers and the Raiders. Derek Carr of the Raiders gets his former teammate from Fresno State, and they'll be able to play together in Vegas. Hopefully this could be the wide receiver that Derek Carr has needed since Amari Cooper was traded to Dallas, since Antonio Brown had left the Raiders, and since Jordy Nelson had retired. The Packers now have the number 22 and 28th overall picks in the NFL draft. That means 2 first-rounders, and that increases the Packers' chances of getting a wide receiver, a young wide receiver, in the NFL draft. Number 3, Deshaun Watson is traded to the Cleveland Browns for multiple draft picks. We all knew Watson was going to be on this list. The Browns traded 3 years of their future to take one of the better young quarterbacks. Watson is an outstanding dual threat. His big arm and mobility will be a big contributor to the new Browns offense. The Texans, with all the draft picks that they have, they will have enough time to be able to rebuild their team. It could take maybe just 3 to 4 years, but the Texans, with all those draft picks, could build themselves a ready playoff team that can last for more than 5 years. Number 2, Tyreek the Cheetah Hill is traded to the Miami Dolphins, and he signs a really big contract with the Dolphins. Okay, bear with me on this, and I still cannot believe this happened. On March 23rd, at around 10:06 a.m., Tyreek Hill is allowed to request a trade. Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs could not find a long-term solution, a long-term deal, so the Chiefs allowed Tyreek Hill and his agent to start looking for trades. Well, on March 23rd, the same day, at around 12:55 p.m., so about 2 hours and 50 minutes later, Tyreek Hill is traded to the Miami Dolphins for 5 total draft picks. It took less than 3 hours for teams to trade for Hill. The Jets and the Dolphins were the number 1 and 2 candidates. And yes, he's one of the best wide receivers. Tyreek Hill is one of the fastest. But you would still expect a trade like this to last at least 24 hours. I honestly couldn't believe it lasted 3 hours. You could watch The Godfather Part 2, and it would still be longer than Tyreek Hill's trade negotiations. And then as soon as he goes to the Dolphins, he signs a big 4-year, $120 million deal, meaning that he gets paid $30 million a year. That makes him the highest paid wide receiver in the league. You know who was the highest paid wide receiver before him? Davante Adams with $28 million a year. Do you know how long he was the highest paid wide receiver? Adams was only the highest paid wide receiver for 6 days. The Chiefs save $18 million in the salary cap. The Dolphins are now a stacked wide receiver core. They have Jalen Waddle, tight end Mike Gesicki, wide receiver Devontae Parker, Cedric Wilson, and Preston Williams. And we're not even done. We still have the running backs for the Dolphins. This is Tua Tagovailoa's one chance to make the Dolphins a playoff team. And for something like this, a trade like this to be worthwhile, the Dolphins need to go as far as the AFC Championship. Alright, before I go to number 1, here are some of the moments that did not make the list, but they do deserve some recognition. Number 1, Russell Wilson traded to the Denver Broncos. This was the catalyst for all the major trades that started happening in the last few weeks. Russell Wilson, even though no one thought he would leave Seattle, is taking his talents to the Rocky Mountains. This trade shocked the world and probably started the trend of big trades. The Seahawks get 3 impact players, 2 first-round picks, and a few other picks for Russell Wilson. The Broncos get a quarterback that can take Denver to the playoffs and compete in the AFC West, where players such as Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Derek Carr are in that division. This trade had to have been inspired by the LA Rams Stafford trade. The Denver Broncos are probably expecting the same thing with Russell Wilson. They think that trading all of their future could help them win a Super Bowl, at least in the next 2 to 3 years. I am sure that trading multiple first-round picks for a franchise player is going to become a trend for a few teams in the next few years. All right, what you think? Yay? Nay? Who should have made the top 10 list? Are there more impactful moments in this offseason, or do you think those moments have not happened yet? Maybe Jimmy G doesn't stay with the Niners. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys sign Bobby Wagner. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.